All right, so what do? I mean, you be the owner, except you got to understand you've already written millions and millions of dollars for guys not to coach.
Yeah.
And that's not just the head coach. You know, you're talking about coordinators and other people who might have had 3-year deals. And Jimmy Haslam, I think, and Dee Haslam, for the most part, have stayed out of things publicly this time.
Yeah, and that was something we interpreted as a good thing at the
Right.
start of this season, and the season itself is turning out to be not much different from all the ones that preceded it. If I was in charge now, I would make a coaching change just because you can't allow this to keep going. And the one thing they've never done, even before when Lerner owned the team and then when the Haslams, they've never hired an experienced NFL coach with a proven track record that
Mangini.
that has done this. Yeah, but he was only like maybe 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, but a guy that when he walks into the room, the whole team knows. All right, now this is a guy that's done this. We respect him because. To me, the one thing that stands out most to me is the way they play their games and the way they carry themselves and all the things they've done this year. It looks like a team that doesn't respect their head coach. And never mind whether Freddie can coach or not. If the players don't respect you and won't play for you and allow you to lead them, you have no chance. And that's what it seems like it's become here.
All right, let me talk in general terms here. When John Dorsey was named GM, last 4 games of the one season.
Mm-hmm.
We all assumed that he had in his hip pocket a list of 3 or 4 guys that he would take as head coach if he ever became the general manager of a team.
Yeah.
It doesn't look, in retrospect, it doesn't look like he had it. And conversely, when Freddie Kitchens, a 10-year or more veteran of the lower coaching ranks, you would think if he had designs on himself becoming a head coach, that he would have the PowerPoint presentation that was given before from what's his name? San Francisco coach. Help me out here.
Oh, the one now?
Yeah.
Shanahan?
Oh, Shanahan.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, who was here, had the 42-point PowerPoint presentation. You would think Freddie would have it, but it's just like Freddie is like an old-time coach who paid his dues, and, when it's time, it's time.
I would, if I had to guess, I would say that what happened with Dorsey is he, like the rest of us, and certainly I was the same way, we just fell in love with what Freddie did as a play caller in the second half of last season, and that just kind of, maybe Dorsey did have a list and he intended to go to it, but when he saw how that season finished out and the way how prolific the offense was, he couldn't tear himself away from Kitchens and what it looked like he had maybe a burgeoning really great coach.
All right, but my point in Truth and Reason a couple of minutes ago was that you can't be the guy's best friend and then all of a sudden be his boss.
Right. Well, that happens. That happens, and the assistant coaches become head coaches sometimes with the same team they're with.
Right.
And assistant coaches are more friendly, I suppose, with the players than the head coach. So that can happen, but it just I think the worst thing that happened in retrospect now is how good the team played for Freddie when they made the switch, at least the offense, because this year it's the exact opposite with a lot more talent.
And then they added star power on top of that.
Yeah, and it's just the whole thing. I just don't see a lot of leadership from Kitchens. The players clearly don't want to play for him. I mean, that was pretty disgraceful yesterday, I have to say, the way they just kind of rolled over for
and the Jarvis Landry thing was interesting. I thought that he was upset because the Browns, it was 4th and 2, down by 11 points, and Freddie went for the field goal, which is un-Freddie-like, by the way. And I thought that Landry was trying to say you should have been going for the first down.
Well, we'll never know. I mean, I just assume when there's arguments like that in the NFL today and on any team, it's whoever the player is complaining that he's not getting a chance to do enough.